All right, so it's that time of year for you now. It's like you have become like the rock and roll Santa, and you're wrapping up your Ho Ho Hoey tour, I guess, this coming weekend, and you've been doing the Christmas music for years now. What made you want to cross over and start doing Christmas music?
Well, it'll actually be 20 years next year. We're going to be on our 20th anniversary of Ho Ho Hoey next year. So it's been a long time, man. It's been a long time. It started in '95, and just growing up on the East Coast, I always liked Christmas music. It was always in my house, so it was just kind of something we thought about doing. Didn't really have a big plan in mind, and when it hit the airwaves, it exploded, and we ended up, finding out that there wasn't a lot of rock and roll Christmas music out there.
Right.
We were actually a year before Trans-Siberian Orchestra. We were before Mary Xmas. We were before everybody. There was no rock and roll Christmas other than Santa Claus Coming to Town by Springsteen and maybe a Bon Jovi song. Other than that, there was no rock Christmas music to buy. So we were pretty much the first.
Yeah, and actually, Stryper did years ago in the early '80s, and we were talking to Michael Sweet about this a couple months ago, and they got like a lot of flack for it, like, of course, haters everywhere, and they were like ragged on big time for it. I was wondering if you maybe were kind of nervous to get like that same kind of effect.
Not really, because I knew it was cool. When I started recording it, the fact that it was all instrumental, there was no vocals, which is probably different from what they did. I think that made it kind of, it made it cool,
right?
There was not vocal, and I knew that it had kick-ass guitar. I knew my arrangements were strong, so I had no worries at all.
Nice. Now, and also too, like you're getting a lot of fan base from this. I mean, is there a lot of crossover to your normal music that you do all the time, whether it's the rock or blues or whatever you're doing?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the Christmas music for sure opened up a whole new audience, and quite a few people discovered me through that, and they didn't even know I did anything else. So it's been positive for sure.
And I think I saw that even some of the Christmas music has been on Hallmark cards, like the electric Hallmark cards.
Yeah, we did. We got a couple of songs in a couple of different Hallmark greeting cards, the ones that you open up and they play music. Yeah, that was pretty amazing. We got them in with Hallmark. That was pretty awesome.
That's awesome. Now, I guess too, like at the end of the Christmas season, do you kind of feel like Santa Claus, with all the Ho Ho Hoey stuff, dies down, and you wait till next year now?
I mean, we take it seriously. That I feel it's definitely a big responsibility for doing the Christmas tour every year. A lot of people, expect it and count on it, and I definitely I take it seriously. I enjoy it, but there's another 11 months out of the year that I like to work. So the Christmas
sure
is just one part of it, that we do, and we're planning to do a lot more touring in the coming year, and possibly going over to Europe as well. So we're
nice.
It's good. But yeah, I feel like I am a rock and roll Santa Claus pretty much.
Now, also too, you worked with Lita Ford on her last album, Living Like a Runaway. You helped write it, produce it. What was it like working with Lita for you?
Oh, it was great working with Lita Ford. She's an amazing person, a great artist. I've always admired her, and we kind of connected and said, let's give it a shot, and we had a great chemistry. It really went well, and I was just talking to her yesterday, actually, about co-writing some more stuff and
nice.
Possibly helping her again with another album. So I may be involved in the next one. We'll see.
Nice. Yeah, I mean, it was an excellent album. It got a lot of great reviews. So, I mean, it had to make you feel good and her as well. But the thing I was thinking of, too, was did you feel any pressure along with that? Because, I mean, there was like a real long absence where Lita was out of the picture for a while. And here she is coming back with this album, and you're kind of like helping her along with it. So was there any pressure with you being along by her side for that as well?
Yeah, I mean, there was definitely some pressure because I knew the album before that she wasn't really happy with it, and it was the one that
right.
She had recorded with her ex-husband, and so I know she kind of got some flack for that album, so I definitely felt some pressure. to make it a great album, and you know, we worked really hard on it. So, you know, I knew we were doing something good. Like, I could feel it. But yeah, we set the bar pretty high, sure.
Nice. Now, also too, with your own music, I mean, you've been producing your own music for years. So, is there a difference where you approach producing your own music and albums compared to working with Alita Ford? Is there any difference producing wise? Are you harder on yourself or harder on Alita Ford?
Well, I think when you're working with another artist, you know, you have to focus on where they're going and, you know, what they're about, and try not to put too much of your own stamp on it. You know, you've got to kind of, you know, hear what they're about and focus on that. And with my own record, it is kind of a different experience because, you know, it's personal to me. So when I'm working with another artist producing, I try and bring the best out of them, but, you know, make sure that they're happy and satisfied with what we're doing, because in the end, they're the ones that have to live with it. So,
right.
You know, even though I might try to force certain things on the artist, at the end of the day, I have to ask them, are you happy with this? Is this what you really want? Because if not, you got to change it, because they're the ones that have to live with it, you know. So
sure.
It's you know, but usually I'm pretty good at persuading people, you know. Go my way.
Now, I was seeing too, Wazoo Music Group. Is that like your own musical group or label that you'd have?
Yes. Wazoo Music Group is my company, and we started it when I went independent, and I started my own record label and publishing company, and it's kind of the way of the world now. You know, a lot of bands are doing albums on their own, and
right.
You know, especially since I already had a fan base, it was a little easier to do something like that, because I knew I had fans already, you know.
Now, as an artist, are you happier going that direction, being the independent artist now, where you can, you know, do a Ho Ho Hoey album, or you can do a blues album like you did, or you can do like a rock album, where you can basically do what you want when you feel like it, and not have the pressure of a label, like you need to have it be done by this time, you need to sound like this, and, you know, being a dictator basically to you?
Yeah, I do. I like being independent. I like being able to do what I want, you know, and change artistically, creatively. Even, you know, if I want to release something, I can do it whenever I want. You know, a lot of labels, they always want 3 or 4 months lead time, and a lot of times it's just, you get the album done, and then they would say, well, it's not coming out for the summer or the fall or the spring. You have to kind of wait. So you're always at the mercy of the label. But, you know, I think in the beginning, it's, you know, it's important for an artist to have some of that support, you know, with the label. So I definitely appreciate what Warner Brothers Records did for me, and what Surfstar Records did for me, because they helped me a lot to make a name, you know what I mean? And
right.
You know, they promoted me, and that's something that's so important. And even though you don't make a lot of royalty when you're on a label, if they can market you and promote you, then you can build a name, and then hopefully have a brand you can continue.
Sure.
But nowadays, I don't even know what new bands do, because the labels are just, they're pretty tough, you know, to sign people, and I don't know what they're doing these days with new artists, you know. It doesn't seem like they give them a lot of time to develop, you know.
Yeah, I mean, it's a scary world out there. I mean, I see, like, there's so many young kids today, and I mean young, like 10, 11, 12 years old, that have bands, and these bands are playing gigs around, and they're recording, and they're incredible. And it just blows my mind, and I get kind of scared for them. I'm like, these are like a real talented bunch of kids. They're writing good music, but they really don't have a future in the music business because of the state of the music business the way it is.
Yeah, I know, man. It's a different world now, you know. I mean, I don't know how the new bands are going to sell music, because nobody really wants to buy music anymore. You can go on Spotify, you can go on Pandora, and you can listen to anything for free.
Right.
You don't have to buy it. So why would you listen to it and then want to go buy it? Maybe, you know, if you become a fan of the band, but, you know, in general, there's just not a lot of record sales going on, or CD sales and downloads and things like that. People can get it for nothing. So I think you have to find other ways to make the money. You know, I don't think people should give up on it. I just think it's a matter of, building a fan base and hopefully getting people to come to your shows and buy a T-shirt or a hat or something to support. If I was a brand new band coming out right now, I would probably give all my music away. I would probably literally just give it all away, because that's the only way you're going to get people to know who you are and to maybe build a fan base.
Wow. That's a scary thought. It really is.
That's what I would do. I would just give the music away. I would just say, join my e-list and you can get the new album for free. That's what I would do if I was a brand new band. Or I would give a free song away every month. Just something to constantly get people to listen to what you're doing, if you're brand new.
Huh. Now, there's a band, we interviewed the singer a few months ago, 1,000 Foot Crutch, and they're an independent band. They're having pretty good success, and I talked to him about it, and it kind of really blew me away, because they put their last album that they put out this year and the one from a few years ago, they put every song up on YouTube. But they still sold a real decent amount of, CDs and downloads. So I was kind of surprised, because here they're giving it away for free on YouTube, but yet they still sold a decent amount.
That's good. That's cool. Well, a lot of bands do that. They put their songs up on YouTube to kind of, have the songs up there for people to listen to. And again, I think it's kind of a discovery thing, if people check it out and they like it, like the band you mentioned, they're still selling CDs and downloads and things like that. So their fans are reacting to, whatever they're doing.
Right.
And we're still selling lots of CDs at the shows. We sell quite a bit on the road, but you got to get on the road to sell them, right?
Right.
You have to be on tour to actually sell them. So when we play out live, we sell quite a bit of CDs, because we come out after the show and we sign stuff and we meet people, and they get excited to get it signed, and that spontaneous impulse. Live, you can sell some, and we do sell some we do sell quite a bit of downloads. It's probably 4-to-1 right now, CDs to downloads.
Okay. Now, also, that too, like you said right there, where now and a lot of bands do it, where they'll play a show and then they stay afterwards and they meet all the fans and they sign the CDs. That is almost like something that's a must-do now to sell the CDs, because that's what people look forward to, and it's just like part of a package deal now.
Yes, yeah, I think so. I think the artists that come out after the shows and sign make a big difference, but a lot of them still don't do it. I was on tour with Jeff Beck in 2010, and I came out after every show and signed autographs, and Jeff never did. And his merch person stood right next to me and said, "You're selling way more merch than Jeff Beck is," because I was out there signing.
That's awesome. Yeah.
So, it's a lot of work, though. You got to go out there, and, sometimes I'm signing longer than the actual show. It's a lot of work after you play a whole show to stand there for, an hour and a half taking pictures and signing autographs. We love it, but it's hard work.
Yeah. Yeah, I can imagine. I was just going to say that, too. I said you're probably doing that longer than you're actually playing on stage.
Yeah, we do sometimes. And then, then we got to go back to the hotel and sometimes get up at 7 in the morning to do a radio interview or fly somewhere. And, it's a grind, but we love it. That's what we do.
Yep, that's part of the job. Now, I saw, too, you actually you tried out for Ozzy and Def Leppard years ago. And something like that really impressed me. Like I'm a person, I get, if something doesn't go my way, I get kicked down. I'll get depressed and bummed out about it. But you went the total opposite direction with it. It seems like it inspired you to really go on and continue your career. Yeah,
absolutely. Auditioning with Ozzy was a huge turning point in my career, for sure. Getting the chance just to audition for him was, a dream come true. I was a huge fan of Sabbath and Ozzy, so that was just a childhood, totally dream come true. But when I didn't get the gig, and Ozzy said, you should move to L.A., I took his advice and I moved to L.A., and it was absolutely what got me signed for Warner Brothers. Was going out to L.A.
Right.
So in along, even though I didn't get the gig, it did turn into a positive, and that's how it is. In the business, you get things that either come close to happening or an opportunity, and you have to take it. make the best out of it,
Right. Yeah, I mean, I was just really making that jump where, I mean, you're moving from out to L.A., from Boston out to L.A., it's just like, wow. Like, I mean, that's a big jump for anybody to do. And to do that, after you have been turned down, it's like, wow, that took a lot of balls.
Yeah, man. I mean, I pretty much went home and loaded up a U-Haul and drove across the country with nowhere to live when I got there. I was pretty stupid, but I took the chance.
So you also do a lot of work with the Rock and Roll Fantasy Camp too.
I do. I've been doing a lot of Rock and Roll Fantasy Camps lately. I've been the music director on a bunch of the camps, and it's awesome. It's really great to go in there and work with different people and give them a dream come true. And then I also get to work with people like Roger Daltrey and Joe Perry, and God, the list is so huge of the people I've been able to work with at the camps. And it's a thrill for me too, and it's a great experience for people if they get a chance to do it. It's unreal.
That's pretty awesome. Now, has anybody like come in there and just like blown you away? Like, wow, like I can't believe this guy's not doing something, or girl?
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. We've had a lot of people come through the camps that were pretty talented people that could easily make a career out of it if they wanted to focus on it. And I've told a few of them, I've said, you should go make a record, and some of them have. Some of them have gone and recorded albums after doing Rock and Roll Fantasy Camp. So it's, it is a place for some people to go and, see how they hold up against, other pros and get a chance to show their skills. A lifelong dream,
Right. Now, how about, do you guys, like what I was saying earlier about the kids, is there kids that come through and do it as well, or?
Yeah, we've had kids. We've had 10-year-old kids there, 13-year-old kids, and some of them have been just phenomenal, like literally like prodigies, just so talented. So yeah, it's every walk of life you can imagine.
It just blows me away the way these kids are playing today. I'm just utterly amazed.
Yeah, there is. I mean, the young kids now. Even my son, he's 13. He plays guitar. He's been playing for a while now, and he goes on YouTube and he learns anything he wants. I mean, it's all right there on YouTube. So I think that's what's the difference from when we were kids is like we didn't have YouTube, so we couldn't really use it to learn and pick up songs and little ideas that we had. So I think it accelerates the generation of guitar players coming up right now. They can learn a lot faster than we could.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, you said your son's 13, plays guitar. Does he want to follow in your footsteps?
I think he does, yeah. I mean, he played with me last Saturday night, and he did amazing on stage, and he's really serious about the guitar. He's also a football player. He's a quarterback. He loves to play football. He's pretty obsessed with that, too. But I think he's definitely going to follow in my footsteps. I think he's going to be a professional guitar player. I absolutely believe it.
What kind of advice would you turn around and offer your son now? Like would you my background? Like I played guitar growing up and stuff, but I went into the world of pro wrestling, and now like when young people will come to me and say like I want to be a pro wrestler, I just shake my head. No, you don't. You know what I mean? Like I try to discourage them. You don't want to go nowhere near that business. So would you kind of do the same thing for your son, or would you like really push behind him to do it?
I'll push him and encourage him because you know what, you've got to do what's in your blood. You've got to do what you love, and I think the advantage that my son will have is my wife and we've been through the business for 30 years, so we'll be able to look out for things that we didn't know about when we were coming up and mistakes that we made, and we'll be able to probably guide my son in a better direction, and he's also going to have a little bit better of a chance because his name is Ian Hoey, and when he goes out there on the road, people are going to know me and they'll remember me, and I think a lot of doors will open for him because of that.
Nice.
And if he has the talent to back it up, I think he'll have an easier time than I did.
Yeah, exactly, and that would be a great thing.
Yeah, it'd be awesome. And if you want to be a pro wrestler like you were, I might say I don't know about that, but you got to do what you love,
It's such an ugly business. It's funny because, like, from going to the music scene and going into wrestling, I was like, I thought music was crazy. Oh, my Lord.
So you went from being a musician to a pro wrestler, and that was even worse?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Is it worse than the music business?
Yeah. I mean, I didn't get too deep into the music business, just playing the local Philly area. But, pro wrestling is a lot uglier. The business.
Yep.
Yes. All right. So we're on the heels, the tips of 2015. What all do you have planned for 2015 that you can tell us?
Coming up in the new year, I'll have a new album. Probably a follow up to Deja Blues. I'll probably have a new blues rock album done and out. And I'm working on a new holiday record for next year's 20th anniversary tour. I'm going to do a new holiday Ho Ho Hoey album, which I have not done in a long time. So we're going to record some new stuff. I've been working on a really amazing piece. I'm doing Tchaikovsky's The Nutcracker. I'm doing some of that with rock guitar, and it's coming out really well. So it's going to be a good new year.
How long does something like that take for you? I mean, working on this Christmas album where you said it's coming out well. So, I mean, like you're already working on it a year in advance.
Yes. Well, I started recording it this year. I was hoping to get it out this coming holiday season, and I ran out of time, and I had so many other things going on this year. I couldn't spend the time I needed. But, usually it takes me about a month. I can probably do a whole Christmas album within a month usually.
Cool. Wow.
Roughly like about a month sort of thing.
All right, so two last things. First thing, what song would you like us to play as we let you go? You got to pick a Christmas song since it's Christmas time. Which one of your Christmas songs?
Oh, absolutely. I would say, either To Carol the Bells or The 12 Days of Christmas. Those are a couple of my favorites.
All right, let me write these down. 12 days. Cool. And last thing, if you can just cut an ID for me, this is Gary Hoey, and you're listening to Totally Driven Radio.
All right, you got it. You ready?
Yep, go for it.
Hey, everybody, this is Gary Hoey, and you are listening to Totally Driven Radio. Check it out.
Thanks, Gary. Have a great holiday season.
Pleasure.
Yeah, and we'll talk again next year.
Thank you so much. You too. Happy holidays, Merry Christmas, and if you need anything else, let us know.
Cool. Thanks. You too, Gary.
All right. Take care. Thanks again.
You too. Bye.
Bye-bye.